Hi, I'm Kevin O'Brien, author of The Ignatian Adventure, Experiencing the Spiritual Exercises of St. Ignatius in Daily Life. In the second week or second movement of the spiritual exercises, we pray over the public ministry of Jesus and we consider what it means to be a disciple. And in the midst of various contemplations on the Gospels, Ignatius injects his own meditation of his own devising, something he made up, in order to help us understand the importance of our choices as disciples. And this is the meditation on the two standards, where he invites us to choose between two standards. Now, a standard in Ignatius's time was a banner or a flag that armies would carry into battle. And what he's inviting us to choose between is the standard or the tactics of Satan on one side, and the standard or the life of Jesus Christ on the other side. And he actually has us imagine this battlefield, this plain in which both groups are assembled, the followers of Satan and the followers of Jesus. And so choose, he says. Well, we would say, of course, we'll choose Jesus, but he says, well, not so fast. Sometimes the temptations, the seductions of Satan, the evil one, are very subtle, as we learned in the first week of the exercises, when we considered sinfulness and sin in our own life and in our world. And he says the tactics of the evil one are what he calls riches and honors and pride. Now, again, those things are fine in themselves. Nothing wrong with riches and honors. A healthy sense of pride is fine. It's when we get too attached to them is when we get into trouble. Too attached to material things, riches, too attached to honors or reputation, that we build our whole identity around what we have or what people think of us, and not on our mission as disciples of Jesus, not in our identity as Christians. We fill our life with so much stuff, we exclude God and other people. And all that leads to what he says, a surging or an unhealthy sense of pride, where it's all about me. I look down on other people, exclude other people. It's all about me, 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 me. And that may feel good, at least for a while, but ultimately that leaves us empty and lost, because it's not who we are or whose we are, because we belong on that other banner. Underneath that other banner, we belong with the community of disciples of Jesus. So we're invited to choose the standard of Jesus Christ. And that's the opposite, right? Instead of being excessively concerned with riches and material stuff, we want a life of simplicity, of freedom with regard to material things. Again, to take them or to leave them, to have them or to give them away, all depending on what's better for our life as disciples and the mission that we have as Jesus's disciples. And so we're free with regard to material things. We live a life of simplicity, of letting go, of open hands, not clinging, but open hands. And again, honors, we accept them or not, all depending on being faithful to our mission as Jesus's disciples. So we might even accept ridicule or indifference from other people who don't understand us or dismiss us because of who we are or what our mission in our life is as Jesus's disciples. We can accept an honor, take it or leave it. We can even deal with the hard stuff of people not thinking well of us. We're even able to handle that because we know who we are and what our mission is about, and we're free as Jesus's disciples. And all that leads to humility, a healthy sense of humility. Again, humility is not debasing ourselves. It's actually having a proper understanding of the truth of who we are. We are beautiful, but we're broken. We're capable of so much, but we're limited. And that's okay, because that leaves room for other people. We don't have to do it all. Because we're limited and broken sometimes, other people can get into our lives, and God can get into our lives, because we are humble and we leave space for God and others into our lives. So consider, Ignatius says, how we live in that freedom of Jesus's disciples. So ultimately, Ignatius uses this meditation to maybe in a very extreme, very graphic way of the two standards, this battle is to make it clear that there is a choice that we got to make. And while the tactics of Lucifer, the devil, the evil one, can be appealing, and sometimes we can go there, we know we're called to the other side by the choices we make every day. Every day, we make choices on one side or the other. Because the battle between good and evil ultimately is decided in the human heart. So we consider our choices as disciples, and we pray for the wisdom and the courage, clarity to choose that standard, to join Jesus and his community of disciples under his banner. So take care, and God bless.